Welcome to Mary Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate it. Please continue to ring that bell, hit the thumbs up, do whatever it takes. Have you thought about the Balkanization of the United States and what your role will be in it or not? A lot of commentators on the news are speculating about this, how the United States would break up should we say we've had enough of this. And I'll use this as an example. Ohio and Indiana, by the maps, would be affiliated with one another. Wonderful. So we have an ally. Now, you are supporting the rule of law, the Constitution, and everything else that we had pre-Antifa, pre-BLM, and pre-whatever, Vietnam, which was basically the rioting and protesting and everything else. Right or wrong, I'm using that as an example. But the like-minded, conservative thinking, the family value thinking, are going to have to, out of necessity, force people out of their homes, their farms, their businesses that fly Antifa flag, BLM flag, the gay national flag, all of those that do not support your ideas, your values, your laws, and actively work against bringing about that civil discourse that caused the Balkanization. Have you thought about that? You will not be able to, if you're going to stay in a state that is aligned with its values, say New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Delaware, all aligned for liberal values. You as a conservative could not stay in that state. They would confiscate your goods, they would confiscate your arms, and probably imprison you because you dare to oppose them. Same thing in like-minded and conservative states. You cannot have somebody flying the BLM flag in your neighborhood. I support Hillary Clinton, I support Joe Biden, and be around. You cannot. By the laws of nature, the adversity would be forcing you to move them out, whether it be by force or by militarization, saying, get out, you're under arrest, we're putting you in our re-education camps, or we're going to bus you at your expense to Pennsylvania, which is going to be locked down under their governor. I don't think people have thought about this. As a prepper, you're going to say, I have my values. I have my thoughts on what it takes. I believe in the First Amendment. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, and everything that the liberals are saying we're going to take away from you. So if you're thinking about why you're prepping, and that thought of a massive civil war or collapse of the government or collapse of the economy, if you are going to stay in a state that supports your values, you're going to have to force your neighbors out. It may be the guy next door, it may be the guy down the road, it may be somebody in the city and saying, yeah, I work for this guy, but I know, he's a flaming liberal and he doesn't give a rip about me or anything else, and I'm good for him because I do my job, and that's why he's kept me on, but I don't talk politics at work. So you're going to have to think about that. And then you're going to have to say, we are going to exchange populations. Some people will naturally flee and say, no, I'm not going to live under people that have guns walking down the street. I'm afraid, and I don't like that. I want to have my own views, like in California or New York, and I want to be able to smash things, steal things, and I say, fine, go. Go do what you want to do. Burn down your cities, but you cannot come back. I don't know if people have thought about that to the extent, but I do know that by the laws of nature, you cannot have that kind of diversity and survive. So you may be looking at saying, hey, Joe, who we barbecued with, I know we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, and before the civil unrest, we were okay, but you can't be here. You're going to have to go. And if he says no, somebody's going to have to step up and say, either accept our values and support them, put skin in the game supporting us, or unfortunately, you've met the end of the road. That was just my thinking. That's my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Have you thought about that? The Balkanization of America and the consequences of what it brings. What your role may have to be in enforcing the state that you aligned with. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Get yourself right with God. Get baptized. Greg out.